Hello, everyone. This is Ray Savage with Cambium Networks. Thanks for joining us today for our webinar on social responsibility. Over the next couple of minutes, what I'd like to do is just kind of describe the programs that we have with our partners and end customers, invite you to understand how you can participate and make a difference in your community. And as we go through the presentation, if you do have any questions, please go ahead, use the question and answer dialog box on the right-hand side of your screen. I'll try and get to everybody's questions during the course of the presentation. Now, the presentation is also being recorded, so if you want to hear it again, it'll be posted on the Cambium Networks community at community.cambiumnetworks.com, and you'll be able to view it there. To start out with social responsibility, a lot of companies say they have a social responsibility program or a plan or something like that. Social responsibility is very much integrated to everything that we do at Cambium Networks. We're a global company, and so we do a lot of projects around the world. And our idea is to try and demonstrate the transformative power of wireless connectivity to cross the digital divide, to help people in times of need, and also to help educate young people so that they're better prepared for the world that they're growing up in. The image that you see there on the right-hand side is from a wire cutting ceremony that we did in Pembroke, Illinois, where Pembroke is in rural Illinois. It's also a very poverty-stricken area. And what they did, they had their library there, but they didn't have Wi-Fi in the library. So Cambium Networks donated some equipment to be able to provide Wi-Fi connectivity in and around the library so that students can do work, people can do job searching, everybody can stay in touch with their family, things like that. And one of the things to note is that this is not just something that we do, it's something that we do in conjunction with the local community. So in the group of people that you see there, you'll see some government representatives, you'll see I believe it's the mayor that has the scissors in his hands there. Also people who work at the library, and donations were made by local banks, medical facilities, and also a wireless ISP in the area, which is Cyber Broadcasting. Well, the high-level goals of our social responsibility activities are really about serving the community that we live in. And as I said earlier, because we're a global company, we really serve the global community. Our idea is to assist any people that are in need. Some examples include connecting schools, connecting healthcare facilities, and also helping children in need. This is good for Cambium Networks. Obviously, it gives us higher visibility within the community, but it's also good for our partners, it's good for our local wireless ISPs, and it's good for the communities in which these occur. We have a number of different programs. I'll give you an introduction to those today, but you can find out a lot more by going onto our website and go to cambiumnetworks.com/social responsibility. Now, the image that you see there on the right is one of our link planning images from how we rolled out Wi-Fi in Lesvos, Greece, to help with the refugee problem there. A lot of the refugees pass through Greece, and a lot of them are ending up staying there for a number of different reasons. And what's happened is that a olive grove has actually been transformed into a community where people will stay. So by putting up Wi-Fi there, we help those people educate their children, get the care and assistance that they need from aid organizations, and also stay in touch with their families. One of the programs that we do run underneath our social responsibility is what we call Cambium College. And we just ended our 2018 school year of Cambium College. And what this is, it's a completely free program so that people can learn about wireless broadband. It includes some of the RF fundamentals, which talks about transmission, physics, attenuation, wavelength, frequency, all those things, so that people can get at least some level of familiarity with the terms that are used in the industry. It also talks about how do you design a network, how do you manage a network, what are the different architectures, and what are the trade-offs of those architectures. And we also obviously talk about the applications, whether that's streaming video, voice applications, data transmission, video surveillance, IoT, things like that, that once you have wireless broadband, what are the multiple things that you can do with it? And as I said earlier, this is a free program. It's also self-paced so that you can do online learning at whatever time works for you. And you can also listen to those recordings once they're posted on the web. We do have a graduation certificate, and prior to that, just like any academic adventure, we have a 50-question multiple choice exam. And in 2018, we actually had 125 people that completed the program and graduated. And this is good for adults who are trying to understand what is wireless broadband, for people who may have jobs where they're working with a wireless ISP or some kind of a service provider. They don't have a technical background, but they'd like to understand the technology. Or also young people who are looking to try and understand wireless broadband and connectivity solutions. Because a lot of times in either high school or even college, there'll be a class in math, there'll be a class in physics, there'll be a class in economics, but there is no class on wireless broadband, yet that's a career opportunity that many young people may not even understand. And some of them have a tremendous aptitude for it. So again, this is completely free. We just completed 2018. We will launch it again in 2019. Usually that comes out in the February timeframe. And our plan is to keep it as a self-paced free program. The image that you see there on the right is actually deploying wireless connectivity in an airport in the United States so that they can do video surveillance, data transfer, and improve operations there. Another program that we have is what we call the Connectivity Hero program. And this is an opportunity for to try and shed some light on some of the great things that people are doing with wireless broadband around the world. A lot of these stories are very important within the local community, but just, if you will, not big enough to really make global news. And so what we wanted to do was give an opportunity to recognize those people for the work that they do. So what you'll see here are Everett Bopp, who works with Disaster Tech Labs, who actually built and constructed the network in Lesvos, Greece. Jay Deerhouse of Semper Wi-Fi has built connected a Navajo, a Native American reservation in Canada. Drew Lentz ran a program that provided connectivity in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey about a year ago. Paul Black operates a network in South Africa that helps young people be able to connect schools for young people. Dilip Agrawal built an entire network in Nepal to try and connect communities there, very remote areas where obviously you're not going to do any trenching in the mountains, and you're not going to be able to even put a pole in so that you can do aerial connectivity. It absolutely must be wireless. Arnold Duplessis uses wireless broadband to protect rhinoceroses in Africa. And he's been able to provide increased security for those areas where the rhinoceroses are. Gunnar Kauke of American Wide Broadband provides broadband connectivity He operates out of Chicago. He provides connectivity to some of the poorer areas of the city so that people have community hubs where they can get free Wi-Fi, they can do job searching, kids can do homework, and it's also a safe location with video surveillance so that people can actually learn and try and help themselves in a safe area. Daniel Sekero in Easy Web Digital does a similar thing actually in Africa, or pardon me, in Australia on the outback there, connecting very remote communities. John Badal operates Sacred Wind Communications in the United States, and he has actually provided high-speed connectivity to Navajo reservations. And Elizabeth Bowles in Aristotle works with a program to provide, to bridge the homework divide in Tennessee so that people living in poorer areas in Tennessee can still have access to information so that students can learn. These connectivity heroes are actually chosen by nominations that come in from our website and people around the world. So if there's someone that you know that's doing something for the good of their community with wireless broadband, whether it's long-range backhaul link, point to multi-point connectivity, indoor or outdoor Wi-Fi, video surveillance, if you're aware of a project like that and you'd just like to hold this person up so that others can see what they're doing as an example, you can go to our website. Again, if you go through the social responsibility page, you can go to the Connectivity Heroes and you can nominate anybody. When somebody is nominated, they receive $1,000 to be given to the charity of their choice. Typically, it's the charity that they're working with. And then once a year, we have what we call a Connectivity Hero of the Year, and that person gets an additional $5,000 donated to the charity of their choice. Our 2017 Connectivity Hero of the Year was Everett Bopp for his work helping refugees in Greece. So what I'd like to do now is just kind of zoom down on some of the individual projects that we do work on. First off, to try and help you be aware of what we're doing around the world, and probably more importantly, just maybe to jog your mind a little bit to see what people are doing so that if there's somebody that you know that's doing a similar project, Cambium Networks is more than glad to donate equipment. We'd like to work with our local partners to donate the labor. And then obviously this helps and changes lives. So right now we are working with an orphanage in South Africa where they have a number of children there that need to do their classes, things like that, do some education. And we've provided indoor Wi-Fi there, not only for their education, but also for entertainment and to keep them connected with the world around them. What we've also done is work with students to try and give them exposure to wireless broadband. We worked with the McAuliffe Elementary School in the Chicago area. They have their STEAM program, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And these 5th to 8th grade students came to our facilities here in Rolling Meadows to learn about wireless broadband. And the students themselves actually provision their own access point. So you can see the different groups there. We provided each one with an access point, and they actually did the provisioning. They set up their own splash page, and they were able to log into their own Wi-Fi. And it's interesting that something as high technology as wireless broadband, it's going to be a fundamental part of the lives of these children as they grow up. And to give them exposure to the technology and also give them the confidence of working with the technology can possibly change their lives for the better. So if you know of any schools that have a similar program, a technology club or something like that, this is a very suitable presentation that we can provide for them. Another way that we help is in times of need. And obviously, there are natural disasters going on around the world almost all the time. One of the most recent ones is Hurricane Florence, which hit the United States in the Carolinas. And just as by chance, we were actually providing a high-speed point-to-point backhaul link to Frying Pan Tower, which sits off the Carolina coast. And they actually use that link for streaming video, voice, and data services. And it was the first location that was hit by Hurricane Florence, and they were able to share the video of the hurricane coming to landfall, which went over a Cambium point-to-point link. There, what you can see in the image there is RCR Wireless News picked up the story and showed how we were able to provide that connectivity. Now, obviously, providing connectivity to lighthouses 35 miles offshore is probably not something that's happens every day. But what we were able to do was just build awareness of wireless connectivity, the capacity, the capabilities, and also the ranges that we can hit with that. And again, if there's some remote location that you want to reach or a network that needs to perform in harsh circumstances, obviously Cambium Networks equipment is proven to be able to do that. One of the ones that happened over the summer, kind of captivated the world, was the cave rescue of the boys in Thailand. Once it was identified that they were in trouble, one of our partners, King IT, who's our distributor in Thailand, worked with the local telephone service provider, and they were able to build a CN Pilot outdoor Wi-Fi hot zone right outside the cave entrance. And that was able to provide connectivity for first responders, aid agencies, any families that were on the scene at the time, and also the media. The equipment was deployed in a matter of hours, and we were able to provide high-speed connectivity to all of those different groups while keeping it segmented and secured. So one of the things that I encourage you to do is to try and determine, submit your ideas to us. You can reach me at ray.savage@cambiumnetworks.com anytime. If you forget that, you can also send an email to either solutions@cambiumnetworks.com. Submit any ideas that you have as to how connectivity can help people in times of need. Also, when there's an event, whether it's some kind of a training event or some kind of a school event where people are getting together and it would be good to have a demonstration, we'd encourage you to join in on that event and we'd be able to provide some of the equipment for you. And obviously, share those success stories on social media. Because one of the things that happens is usually when there's a disaster, it would be great if people would think about, you know, we lost all our connectivity. We know that wireless broadband can be able to help us. And then once you've done that, shared it on social media, submit more ideas. Whether it's for a project, whether it's for a connectivity hero, or whether you see that there's some topic that we're missing in the Cambium College, that would be great. Well, in closing and before we open up for questions, what I'd like to do, obviously, is show you some photos that just came in. These are in the aftermath of the fires in California. We are working with our partners locally and also a wireless ISP to be able to provide connectivity to an area where literally thousands of homes were completely destroyed and incinerated. So the top two photos that you see there on the screen, the one on the left is one where the wireless ISP was building a tower with Cambium Networks equipment. He had a backhaul link and an access point. and this was actually blown down. He was doing some repairs on it just prior to the fires going through the area. And the next picture on the right, it's actually a color picture, but it's very black and white just because of the scorching, is taken from the exact same location. And what you see there in the image is what's left of the tower, what's left of that communications box, and what's left of their radio equipment after the fire went through. As I said earlier, we are working with them right now to be able to provide connectivity. And the image on the bottom is one of the backhaul links that we were able to provide to a rescue station so that, once again, the aid workers, first responders, and affected families can have broadband connectivity so that they can just begin the process of rebuilding. We will be publishing this story very soon. It's in the works right now. But again, it's just a striking image of how quickly things can change given disasters, things like that, and yet how quickly wireless broadband can be rapidly deployed to begin the renewal process. So in summary, what I'd like you to do is just be aware of our social responsibility activities that we do around the world. If you do have any questions, please go to cambiumnetworks.com. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, in the lower part of the page, you'll see there's an entire page devoted to all of our social responsibility activities. I'm glad to work with people around the world, and I'd like to work with you. Okay, so we did have one question come in, and the question is about Cambium College. How can you get an exam? If you go to the community and look up Cambium College, community.cambiumnetworks.com, do a search on Cambium College 2018. Hopefully you've already registered. If so, then I believe the exams, actually, I think the exams are closed right now. But what I'd encourage you to do is go ahead and register for the 2019 season and participate in those sessions. They are completely free. They are completely self-paced, so you can do them in the evenings or at a time that's convenient for you. And then go ahead in 2019 and be one of our graduates. Okay, and thank you, Lee. I just got your comment that thanking us for what we do. And we did have one other question come in. Someone's asking for the online course, Cambium College, do we get a certificate for it? When you complete graduation, you do get a certificate. If for some reason you've successfully completed the exam and did not get a certificate just yet, please contact our training department at training.cambiumnetworks or training@cambiumnetworks.com, and they will be able to check the records. If you've passed the exam, they'll be more than glad to give you a certificate. We've been issuing those to many people, but if there's a problem in your particular case, we're glad to help you out. Well, thanks everybody. As I said, the webinar will be recorded, and we will be posting it to the community. We did have one last moment question. What is the course duration and time for Cambium College? It comes in different modules. I think each module can take somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. And I believe there are 15 of those modules. So it's not a tremendous amount of time. I believe if you've got a grand total of 15 hours that you can spread out into little 20-minute chunks, you can easily complete Cambium College. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you on future webinars, and I look forward to working with you on a project. Thanks, everybody.